If I want to know what a song is saying, I can listen to the words. But if I want to know what the story feels like, I really need to focus on the arrangement. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Dave's Side One. I'm Dave, your host over here at Art of Listening Records, where every record has a story and every story starts on Side One. This week, we've been changing what we listen for. First was album identity. Then we listened for the drummer. And then we listened for everything behind the singer. Today, using the Who's album Quadrophenia, we put all those things back together. Because sometimes the way the music is arranged starts telling part of the story. Lyrics are the obvious storytellers. They tell us names, places, events, thoughts, feelings. But arrangement does something different. It can tell us how big a moment feels, how tense it feels, how isolated it feels, how chaotic, how hopeful. The arrangement can carry emotional information the words never have to explain. Now, first, the arrangement establishes the world. What instruments are present? How much space is there? Is the sound dense or open? Is it aggressive or restrained? Before I understand every lyric, the sound has already told me something about where I am. Then the arrangement has to move with the story. The song gets larger. A section gets smaller. The rhythm changes. An instrument enters. Something disappears. And suddenly, the emotional position changes. The words may still be about the same person, but the arrangement tells us that something inside the moment has shifted. One of the simplest things to listen for is density. How much is happening? More instruments can create pressure, excitement, chaos, or scale. Less can create vulnerability, distance, isolation. You don't need to know what every instrument is doing. Just notice when the room gets crowded and when it suddenly empties. Another useful thing to listen for is an entrance. A horn section arrives. A synthesizer appears. The drums suddenly open up. A guitar part doubles something. A backing voice enters. That entrance may be telling you, pay attention, something's changed. This moment is larger than the one before it. Now we get to one of the most interesting things Quadrophenia can teach us, recurring musical ideas. An idea appears, we leave it, and later it comes back. That isn't necessarily repetition. Sometimes it's memory. When a thing comes back later, we haven't stayed the same, we've heard more, we've learned more, the story has moved. So even the musical idea is familiar. The listener brings new context to it. That changes the meaning. And eventually, the arrangement has to tell us whether we've arrived somewhere. That doesn't always mean a happy ending or a clean ending. Resolution can be musical. A theme returns. The arrangement opens. The density changes. Something that felt unstable finally settles. Or maybe it deliberately doesn't. Either way, the arrangement can tell us that the journey has reached a different place. So for today's Side 1 test, let's talk about the arrangement story test. What kind of emotional world does the arrangement create? How does the sound change as the story moves? What musical ideas return? Does the arrangement create a sense of arrival? That's the arrangement story test. And here's the experiment. Pick a story-driven album or even one story-driven song for one listen. Don't try to follow every word. Follow the arrangement. Where does it get bigger and where does it get smaller? What returns and what disappears? Where does the energy change? Then go back to the lyrics. You may hear the story differently. So here's my verdict. That's why Quadrophenia works so well for this exercise. The story is in the words, but it isn't only in the words. It's in the changes, the returns, the density and the scale, and the way musical ideas carry memory. Great arrangement doesn't sit behind the story. It can become part of the story. So on tonight's Side One Spin, what album tells part of its story through the arrangement for you? Come back and tell me the artist and tell me the album. And also tell me what you hear. Was it a recurring theme or a shift in dynamics? An entrance? A return? Something that changes meaning later? Love to hear about this all in your comments. And tomorrow, we stop listening for one musician and listen for what happens when two musicians or more lock together for an entire album. That's it for today's Side One. Thanks again for spending a little time with me. Please keep that needle in the groove and listen to how the story is being told. We'll talk to you tomorrow.